Hey, hey, hey. All right. So let's start this off right. So I said I'm gonna make a few. I'm just gonna start. Just gonna start my journey today. You know what? I even wrote some things down. So one of my coworkers was laughing at me today because she said, "You look like you writing." Let me stop. Let me just start the video. Okay. So I started off I don't know. I was watching a video this morning and I said, it was a guy. He was just saying that he wants to lose weight. He's on a healing journey, and I might go up and down with this video. So understand, and I hope the people that to get to see this just can relate or understand like where I am in my life right now. But I started off, the very first thing I wrote down was my hubby has a side friend. And I wrote that down because, my husband cheating on me was like, it took me into like an emotional roller coaster that I could not have like imagine for myself or like could wrap my head around, right? I can't wrap my head around it. It's obviously something that doesn't sit well with me, and I always said like, how would I handle it, or what would I do, or whatever. And I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer for it because I'm in it. I'm in it right now, and I am still just trying to wrap my head around everything and trying to put my emotions in check, which I'm really not that good with. And anybody that's experiencing what I'm experiencing will I don't know how everybody handles things differently, but I will tell you that I'm in not such of a good space. And last night was an example of how I struggle with like keeping my cool. However, I woke up this morning, like after talking with him last night, in a very uncontrolled environment, right? It was an up and down situation with me because I get so angry. But I had a few conversations today with different people. A lady that I met in the grocery store, and she held me way too long, way outside my comfort zone. But what she was saying to me was resonating, and it like made sense. It kind of just made sense for that message to be said to me at that particular time. And I was so appreciative, right, of what was coming out of her mouth, and her not knowing that, or maybe she did know that she had a word for me, and it was solely for me. And hopefully, God sends people your way if you're going through the same thing that speak to you about your situation when you need them to speak to you about your situation. Okay, so I'll go back to the guy that was starting his video. Let me finish, because this is what I was telling my coworker too. I said, I don't make videos because I'm the most unorganized person, and when I make videos, you can tell I'm unorganized. Like, it just shows in everything I do. Okay? Anyway, I feel really good. My car is clean. I cleaned it myself, and I feel so accomplished this week. And I'm just praying, and I'm asking God to give me the mind to, when I get out in the car, just take my belongings with me. Just take your stuff like I'm talking to somebody else. Can you grab that? Did you come in here with that? Was that there when you got here? That kind of situation. So I'm working on that. Anyway, this morning I woke up and I opened up Instagram, and it was this lady on there talking, and she was just saying how, this is meant for you to hear. that I needed to just stand still in my situation and stop being like a firecracker, basically, and just, if I'm going to forgive, and she said it, she said it in a way that I took it to mean, if you are going to stay, and if you want to stay, and if this is something you want to heal from, then you have to forgive, and you have to just stand still and allow God to do whatever he wants to do. That's it. And I stopped in a moment, and it caught me because I was thinking like, dang, that's been on my mind all night. You know what I mean? Like I always tell anybody, like, I'll never tell you, like, if your husband cheat, and I don't know if he cheated or not, but this is my definition of cheating. If you have any contact with a female that I don't know, and it's outside of my knowledge, you cheated. And I go to the full length of you cheated. So I will not be so surprised when I find out you cheated. So that's my take on it. But anyway, you deal with it however you deal with it, but that's how I deal with it. Okay, so she was just saying to, like, stand still in your situation. If you really want to just hear God talk to you or fix things, you have to just wake up every morning with a forgiving heart. You have to intentionally think about forgiveness at all times. Here's my thing. I'm not perfect, right? And I'm flawed in many, many ways. So when it comes to forgiveness, I feel like I can forgive you. But I'm such a person that when I'm caught, right? And not only just that, but I find myself oversharing. Like, I tell the truth in times where I probably should just shut up. Like, I'd be like, here you go again. Like, trying to be all open and honest, and then it bites you every time because you don't get what you want in return. You never get that exact honesty from anyone anymore, right? Like, when I was growing up, I always use this as an example to my husband. All of my male friends used to be, like, so brutally honest. Like, back then I used to think that it was, like, a little odd that they were so honest. I'm like, why are you so, are you just trying to hurt my feelings? But then it made me this tough individual that only expects honesty, right? And that's like, it raised the bar, like, horribly for people behind them, especially my last, like, relationship, which way it was so open and just, like, free of things that he wanted to say and do, that we just had, like, an amazing friendship that still carries on today, because it just, like, we don't have any expectations of each other. Like, I don't want you in that kind of way. You don't want me in that kind of way. We've experienced that. We tried that. That didn't work out, and we clearly aren't made for each other. But however, we can always be good friends. Obviously, we don't talk every day, every month, every year. But if I see him on the street and I'm with my husband and my children, I will stop, and I will introduce them, because he's just that kind of a person, right? Just a genuine guy, that will never be flaky about much of anything. Just all around good guy. All right, so fast forward to right now. I was on, because I don't want to really get emotional in this video, so I'll leave the whole marriage thing alone, because I'm on my journey. I'm on it. Today I start. I'm on it. And so I wrote, I want to start my fitness journey, and I want to get fit. Like, I want to be fit. Like, I've had sleeve surgery done. I've been on Ozempic. Both work. They both put me in a place where I am. If you go back and watch any of my videos, you'll see that I was well into 300s, almost 400 pounds. And I, got the surgery. That was the beginning. And then I kind of just did what I had to do to, maintain or get down to where I am. But I found myself being very fearful of being too small, and I never knew what that meant. And now I'm at a place where I wrote, just like, I just want to be my best self. I just want to be my best self. And I want to start at working out 7 days a week with no excuses. And I don't want, and not nothing strenuous like, oh, I'm about to hit the gym and I'm about to do 4 hours in the gym. But I want to know that I can commit to 30 minutes out of every single day that belong to me. And if that means just walking and listening to a podcast and not really trying to sweat or anything, but just taking that 30 minutes and then bumping it to an hour to make it mean something to my heart, to my body, and to, my journey. And so I wrote, I want to do that, and then I want to do the 7 days, and then ultimately it's how do I feel at the end, of me trying that 7 days and pulling back, or upping it a little bit more daily if I have to. And then I said, I want to stop acting out on my emotions. I feel like once I always thought, I'm sorry to keep going back, but I have to give this one particular video like a lot of backstory. I always wanted to be a wife. It was one thing that I knew that I would be, right? I always said, like, I'll make a really good wife. Like, I'm a committed person. I'm loyal. I have no problems with, that grass is greener syndrome. I look at other people and I know they have their own ish in their grass. So I've never struggled with anything like that. I cook. I know how to clean, even though I don't feel like it sometimes. Like, I am an all around decent female. Like, I know that for myself. I sometimes evaluate myself and I'll be like, the one thing I do know I am very aggressive at times, and I'm an introvert. Like, I am truly an introvert. Which is hard to swallow for some people sometimes, but I go inside myself and I'm very happy there. I'm like, don't bother me, don't you bother me, because I'm in there bothering myself. So yeah, so that's that. And then let's see what I said. I said, let's try a week of 6 a.m.s at Planet Fitness. You know what? I read this and I'm just, oh my gosh, I wrote that. That's funny. So yeah, I wrote 6 a.m. at Planet Fitness for a week. Let's see how that works. I've been paying for Planet Fitness for 3 years. I lied to you not. 3 years, every single month for 3 years, and I've been one time. I'm not even lying. I ain't gonna hold you. One time. And I went one time, and this man followed me out. His name, dang, I used to know his name because it was a little weird, but it was a Caribbean guy. He followed me all the way out, his big old buff self, and walked behind me the entire time, never seeing my face to my knowledge. Followed me all the way to my car. I turned around like about to give him a milli wop, right? And he says, was it Patrick? No, it wasn't Patrick. It was something little, like exotic. But he said, can he get my number? I'm like, boy, it's like 7 o'clock in the morning. Like, don't follow people to their car asking for nobody. No. I said, no. I said, I'm married, all this stuff. And it just put a bad taste in my mouth and just allowed me to, use that as an excuse to not go back. Because I hate creeps. Like, I literally hate creeps. And then I'm like, okay, so that's the best time I can go. So now what? Now I got to find another slot to go because I know he's going to be there next week or tomorrow, just waiting for me to walk in. But anyway, I digress. All right, so I'm going to go do a week of 6 a.m. I have to be to work. 3 days a week at 9 a.m. and then 2 days a week I have to be there at 8:30. So yeah, that's that. I want to get to a non-stop mile. I want to run a non-stop mile. I want to run an entire mile without stopping. That is my very first goal. So whatever I have to do, train to do that, and that's what I'm going to do. And then I put, let's see, have another baby. Haha, no thanks. Just sitting at my desk. Just my brain just be just yeah. Anyway, circuit training and treadmill or elliptical. So I said when I get to Planet Fitness, I'll start with the circuit trainer and the treadmill or an elliptical. I prefer ellipticals. I have an elliptical at home. I have a treadmill. I have 2 treadmills at home. But it's like, I even have a bike. Good grief. But here I am looking for a Peloton. I was trying to buy a Peloton. I think I'm about to buy one. I think I was going to get one on Facebook Marketplace. But, again, I talk too much. I said I want to feel stronger. I want to feel better. And I want to document every day to give me a better visual on my progress. So, that's all I wrote. So that's everything that I wrote that I want to accomplish. And this is just my first video, and I know it's long, and I hope that it engaged someone and kept someone's attention that can follow me along on my journey. I'm going to do body shots and stuff like that, and I'm just going to watch and look around for videos that I can relate to and that I kind of want to I don't want to be like anybody, but I want to be able to put information that I find helpful, and then kind of like make it that it fits my journey. Like I you know what I mean, I want to just customize it a bit and just say, this was how I did it. But I don't want to leave anything out. I'm really struggling right now. I will say that. And I do want to document how I feel. Although this isn't, for me, it's going to be all around. I also want to go and look for some really easy meals that I can meal prep, because I do eat lunch. I don't mind, because I work in such a area where it doesn't force me to go get, even though McDonald's is literally across the street. So is a Giant, you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna cry about food. Like for me, I usually don't have much of an appetite. And then I'll get back on my Ozempic a bit, to kind of tame if I'm having any hunger issues or anything like that. But yeah, I am definitely trying my best to get out of my head, and just hold myself accountable. Like I can't hold nobody else anywhere. Like I can't make a better person out of anybody. Like these are all, we all live on these self journeys, and regardless of how we get married and we say, we are one and all this stuff, I know that truly deep down inside, everybody doesn't walk that path. You know what I mean? Like I had to learn that the hard way, and I'm learning it the hard way, that everybody don't see marriage the same way. Like they don't. And especially being married to a Nigerian, they I don't know. What I had is not what I have. And so I just figure this stuff out as I go. But I want to redirect my energy somewhere else. And if anybody out there that can work with me on data analysis, I would appreciate it. You can contact me. Honestly, I need someone to help me, just wrap my head around it a little bit more for real life, like what a job would look like in data analysis. Or data analytics. So, contact me however you see fit. Just get in touch with me. And so this will conclude my video for today. I mean, it's a lot, it's long, and I'm going to try to stop it at 20 minutes, because 20 minutes is a lot to be listening to one person's voice, because I would get irritated and be skipping through. Hopefully you didn't skip through. It wasn't nothing. You ain't really missed nothing, but my next video, I'll do a weigh-in for myself, and then I will do my body shots. I have my daughters, one of my teenage daughters, take some pictures of me front and back and side and all that good stuff. And let's watch this fat get off. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to be the best me. So follow me on my journey. Christian signing out. Bye.